What's up, everybody? Howard Bender here from Fantasy Alarm, and it's time again for the Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch. Yes, these players are people, but for our purposes here, we treat them like commodities, and they rise and fall in value on a constant basis. Let's start with the risers for this week, and we start with Colt Keith, second baseman for the Detroit Tigers, though he qualifies at third base for a lot of people, which is where he started this season. Listen, after a little bit of a slow start here, Colt Keith now batting .350 with a double, 3 RBI, 2-run score, and a stolen base over his last 5 games. Not to mention, he's about to gain second base eligibility in most leagues. Most leagues have a 10-game in-season eligibility. He started off at third base. He's been playing second for the Tigers. That kind of added roster flexibility is going to be a huge, huge boost, especially if he continues to keep hitting, batting 5th or 6th in this Tigers lineup. Next, we've got Abner Uribe, relief pitcher, closer for the Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, that's right. We were supposed to start this season when Devin Williams went down with some back fractures. We were told that there was going to be a committee approach. Trevor McGill, Joel Payamps, and Abner Uribe were going to be in there. Well, from day one, it's been all Abner Uribe. Now, we know that McGill is dealing with a concussion right now, and maybe he gets back into the mix, though. Probably not. Joel Payamps, definitely not. That guy's been getting hit around since day one. Meanwhile, Abner Uribe has looked fantastic. 3 saves and a win. He did have one little hiccup, but Brewers came back and he backdoored into that win. So great numbers here for Abner Uribe. You can go check out the closer grid from Joe Galena over at fantasyalarm.com. I'm a big Uribe fan. Love getting him in there. And then finally, another riser, probably going to be more of a stash play maybe. We'll have to wait and see on Wednesday. I'm talking about A.J. Smith-Shawver, the starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. With Spencer Strider going down, and they say that Strider at earliest is going to be looking at August, I think he could miss the entire season. They're going to try and tend to that UCL, but it does not look good. That puts the Braves into a really bad spot right now, and they're going to need a 5th starter as early as this Wednesday. We're going to have to see who they call up. Now, Smith-Shawver was sitting in the AAA Gwinnett, and he got pulled from his Friday start when word broke of Strider's injury. So the possibility that he is the call-up here is definitely strong. Now, they could go Bryce Elder. They could go Huascar Wainoa. But Smith-Shawver is the guy who profiles longer term, and the Braves know this. So maybe he doesn't get called up this week, but in the weeks coming, he's going to be that guy who's going to tend to be the 5th starter for what? One of the best teams in baseball? On the way down, let's talk about Corbin Carroll. What's going on with Corbin Carroll? 10 games, no home runs, 1 RBI. Yeah, he's stolen 3 bases, but there's been a lot of problems going on here with Corbin Carroll. Could this be the dreaded sophomore slump? We've seen it before. Now, I think he's an incredibly talented player. The big concern is where everybody's buzzing right now about the shoulder. That's right. Back in 2021, he had season-ending shoulder surgery. Last year in July, on a swing, he really tore up his shoulder a little bit. They say he dodged a bullet, but we don't know what's going on right now. Could this shoulder be an issue for him? The stock is kind of slipping a little bit right now. I wouldn't sell him, but you're going to have to keep a very watchful eye. Next guy on the way down, Framber Valdez. Now, listen, I don't want to pile on to all these starting pitcher injuries, right? We lost Yuri Perez. We lost Shane Bieber. We lost Spencer Strider. I just heard that Nick Pivetta landed on the IL with elbow issues as well. Framber Valdez, elbow soreness, forearm tightness. Listen, that's the first of 3 conversations we're about to have before I tell you that Framber Valdez is having Tommy John surgery. We've seen it before. The handwriting is on the wall. And if you want to go check out the full article write-up, I've got a link in there to some great insights from the GM, Jim Bowden, about why we're seeing so many major pitching injuries. So Framber Valdez, beware. Finally here, let's kick the can on Brent Rooker. Ugh. This guy's the ultimate one-hit wonder. 30 home runs last year. This year, he looks terrible. Opened up the season 0 for 12. He got benched possibly because he was wearing a bracelet that said boycott. We all know how sensitive they are in Oakland with the team and the move and everything like that. He woke up for a couple of games. Hello, 2 home runs. Beautiful, but Then he goes and he injures his abdomen on another swing with that 51.6% strikeout rate. That's a vicious swing. That's a lot of misses, and that's a lot of problems here for Brent Rooker. I do not see Brent Rooker repeating those numbers, and if you drafted him thinking that that's what you were going to get, you're in a huge, huge mess. Go check out the full article write-up over at fantasyalarm.com. I dive into each one of these players a little bit deeper, some stats that you're going to need to know, and then make your moves as to what you want to do for waiver wire action, possible trade talk, you name it. We got you covered here at Fantasy Alarm. I'm Howard Bender. We'll catch you next time.